Colin Croft was open-chested and he was lethal.
In his first over in international cricket, Shabir Ahmad bowling the perfect delivery, starting from outside the left-hander's off-stump, swinging into him and knocking the off-stump out.
Well, what a cracker this was. This was pace and it swung. Watch it. Oh, yes. Well, if you're a fast bowler, you'll want to be watching that a few more times. That is an absolute beauty. Griffith's gone, 11 for 1.
Wavell Hines batted so well in the game yesterday, coming in at number 3 to replace Adrian Griffith.
Oh, that's a beauty. I mean, it got him stuck in the crease. I mean, if you wanted to be slightly critical, you'd say he could have got forward a little bit. Look at the feet. Oh, he's got excited now. That was much quicker and wider. You're going to need 2 more Mohincans to get to that. Just watch the footwork of Adrian Griffith. A beautiful delivery. Pitched up, so I always say pitch the ball up, you see. Never really gets out to it. And then he's stuck in no man's land. He's neither forward or back. What a sight for a young fast bowler. Debut time, wicket first over.
Well, he's getting just a little bit excited now, and understandably so. But he's giving his captain a hard time. Moin Khan, stand-in captain for Wasim Akram. He's had to do plenty of work, Jeffrey.
Well, he actually needs a long stop, doesn't he? Remember you used to play as a boy and you had a long stop behind the wicket keeper. He needs that fine leg a bit finer. Well, he's had 3 go for boundaries. You see this guy down here he is, we can see it on the, it's not, and now he wants to come right across here and get nearly behind the wicket keeper.
Excited, as any youngster would be, getting a wicket in his first over in international cricket. So a mixed bag this first over, a wicket and a few wides. 2 overs bowled, 21 for 1. They should get a couple from there.
Come on, Hassan, come on, throw! Well done.
Well played. All the pitch shots had the off stump, found the gap. Lovely shot from Sherwin Campbell, who hasn't been in good form throughout the tournament. He's got a couple of half centuries, brought it on from Singapore in the preceding tournament. And that's a fine stroke.
Yes, Shelvin Campbell does play with a straightish bat and he's playing off the back foot. This time he was just a little forward to drive that one through the cover area. Very good timing from the in-form West Indian opener.
It's gone through and he'll come around and make the save and get more cheers. Over the top, weight on the back foot and hammered away by Hines for 4. West Indies move on to 40.
On the back foot and hitting it in the air but away from the cover fieldsman. Good solid stroke. productive one. There you see Abdul Razzaq providing a bit of width.
Sliced away down towards third man. Shabir is down there again and again. Cheers that you might expect the winner of an Oscar. Lovely shot down the ground. Beautifully played by Hines.
That is a beautiful stroke. Nice straight bat. Going back and across. Hitting straight. Sweet timing. Bit of class being shown by the youngster. There you see, just punched it. Didn't try to hit it too hard.
Yeah.
So we're testing up the fielders here. Abdul Razzaq. Lovely drive down the ground. Not the absolute meat of the bat. There was that woody sound onto it. So it's slow him up there, but it'll go all the way. And it is a straight drive off a bowler who's got speed. And that's always satisfying to the batsman.
Excellent stroke from Sherwin Campbell. Good face of the bat, showing the full face, playing through the line, but this time through the onside. Shabir pitching the ball up. And a nice clean hit.
Has beaten the infield and will go for 4. Didn't quite have a great deal of momentum on it to that ball. The fielder in the deep would easily have cut it off. But we're still inside the first 15 overs, so not much support in the deep. And Hines is able to hit that for 4.
It's what has been impressive about Hines is see how late he plays the shot. Very, very late. He's waited for the ball to turn and then gone for the shot. He hasn't played it too early. He's waited now. It's not very short, but this is a slightly slower pitch.
Also showed why it's such nimble footwork at the crease.
Catch it!
I just got the feeling that another day Hassan Raza might have gone for it. Interesting to see how short it was.
Well, it was hit fairly flat, so I don't think he had the chance to dive forward for it. And he wouldn't have been able to pick it up in the background of the crowd. It's never easy to pick it up in the background of the crowd, the red ball.
That'll go all the way. Pushed through flatter by Saqlain, just drifting down leg side, and all that Campbell needed to do was to get a bit of wood on it.
Yes, one of the rare occasions when Saqlain has gone onto the pads. He's always bowled a very good line around the batsman's off stump. You can see over here he's gone leg stumpish.
And once again, Sunny, the one that was pushed through flat was the off break.
That's right. He holds his wrist straight when he's bowling the off break. It's the wrist that you've got to watch very, very carefully. And because he buttons his sleeve up, will not always get a very good view of the wrist.
What a beautiful ball he's given him. Just a bit more air. And this was the one that drifted away. I don't think Sherwin Campbell had any idea at all. And umpire Steve Dunn has given him LBW.
And this is excellent bowling. He's bowled flat for the first few deliveries of the over. Then he's tossed that one up. And if you have a close look at the wrist, you'll see the wrist is now facing the wicket keeper. This is brilliant bowling by a brilliant off spinner. Saqlain Mushtaq getting Sherwin Campbell out. It's 86 for 2.
Shivnarayan Chandrapal comes in.
He's just seen Sherwin Campbell out to a wonderful piece of spin bowling. Yes, he bowled a flatter the early part of the over, then tossed this one up, which is the one that is going the other way. It had Campbell thinking that this would also turn into him. Instead, it held its line, didn't turn away from him too much, but just enough to defeat the shot and get him out leg before. Top class stuff this.
Caught. Simple as that. Torturous innings for Wavell Hines, and it was always going to come to that sort of an end. It's only his fourth one international. He's a new player to the international game. He'll be learning from this.
Well, he teased him, didn't he? He actually kept him pegged down, and when we come back you'll see that one's a little bit wide. It tossed up wide, teased him, and caused his downfall to put West Indies 91 for 3.
Well, here's an enticing prospect. Brian Lara's come in. Sacklane is bowling beautifully. He has done all tournament. Got him up yesterday. He replaces Wavell Hines.
You see how wide that ball is? He's tempted him. And that's what happens if you pressurise batsmen with good bowling, ball's turning, that seamer, and then he just sort of threw it up and said, come on, come for me. He couldn't resist, and it was easy in the end.
Early wicket for Pakistan, and a good partnership between Campbell and Hines. Beautifully bowled and beautifully stumped. Chandapal's disappointing series continues. The West Indies are losing their way.
Well, it was beautifully bowled. Again, this loop I talked about from McTorman, it's up there, causes him to overbalance, and he knows he's gone. It just causes him to push forward, you see, overbalancing. Well, I think he's gone stumped. Moeen bowled Arshad for 3, and West Indies now in a little bit of trouble because they've got more left-handers to come. 91 for 4.
New batsman is Ricardo Powell, who has had a difficult time against Pakistan in the two previous matches after his brilliance against the Indians both in Singapore and in the DMC Cup here. Dragged him forward and turned it away from him. Classic off-spinner's dismissal. Well, that's how the off-spinners have changed this game. The last 7 overs, they've got the wickets of Campbell and Hines and Chandapal. Just the 9 runs. Ricardo Powell. Well, that went straight back. Should have catch it, and he's very disappointed not to have held on.
Well, I think it went a little firm. I don't think he really cracked it. Went a bit firm, and it never really got it in his hands, did he? He seemed ready for it, but never got it. I think it hits him on the wrist. Done it. Just as I'm saying that, I was just going to say as a batsman, you'll be quite pleased to get rid of the off spinner and get the seamer on, and he's knocked his ball straight out of the ground. That's what makes a great captain, when the bowlers do the job for you. Oh, it's a great Yorker, right in there, whoosh, hitting across the line, but good credit to the bowler, pace and right in there. I'm afraid that's out. 92 for 5.
New batsman is Chris Gale, comes out to replace Ricardo Powell, who's had a rough time of it. Certainly a top delivery to a new batsman. I think you're being pretty harsh, Jeff. Not many people could have played that. at that pace and right down middle and leg stumps. That's where you're told to bowl the Yorker when you're a fast bowler.
Quick, full, I've been saying all week, pitch the ball up. Those that have bowled short have got cut and pulled. Get the ball up. It's always hard for a new batsman to get his feet moving. And this is another batsman that gets stuck in the crease. The footwork not really going anywhere, you see. And they are in serious disarray now, our West Indies. Chris Gale gone for naught, 92 for 6.
Jimmy Adams comes out, the experienced Jimmy Adams, another left-hander. Shabir is on a hat-trick here because of 2 Yorkers.
Well, that one is not quite as full as the one to Powell. You see, he gets stuck in the crease. He never really gets the footwork going. And that's the danger when we all start our new innings. Let's get the feet going.
Now, on a hat-trick in his first one-day international. And they're not quite getting it. Gone away for 4. This is what a young fast bowler with real pace does. And he's done it from the start. He's got the crowd alive.
You see, he just missed it, hadn't he? Just stayed back, shuffled across the crease. Watch the footwork. It's a beautiful delivery, but he never gets the feet going, you see. They're just shuffling and walking in the crease. And you don't give yourself a good chance like that.
Unforgettable over for Shabir, 96 for 6. Jeffrey Boycott talking about the lack of movement of the feet. Absolutely no movement there by Gale. Really, if he was going to miss the ball, he should have been leg before. And Lara is down the wicket. Out it goes. That's gone all the way. Good certain hit by Brian Lara. Welcome back to international cricket, Mushtaq Ahmed.
Well, I'm not surprised at that, because I was saying a little earlier that if you could see the 2 off-spinners off, and then maybe the seamers and the leg spinner, see the ball from the normal leg spin is coming into the left-handers, and the left-handers can hit with the spin. And that's what Lara did to Shane Warne and McGill in the West Indies recently. He hit the leg spin. So it's not necessarily the best time for Mushtaq to be bowling. Not after the 2 off-spinners have bowled so well. Yeah, he's going to look to go after him. And that's good batting, not so much good fielding to let Lara back on strike. Arshad Khan. Well, I don't think they should have got 2 there. That's the young fast bowler, Shabir. Didn't quite attack the ball. West Indies improved to 108 for 6.
Catch it! Catch it!
There's a man down there. He'll do well to get it. He does. Big wicket. And a big moment for Mushtaq Ahmed. Just remarking a short while back that in this situation there's little he could do. He's shown that he can do something big. And that's a wicket of Lara.
Well, this should give Mushi a lot of confidence back after lapse of quite a few matches. And had Lara Fox with that loop delivery. couldn't quite keep it along the ground. A nice catch by the debutant Shabir. In action again, and disappointment for the captain. Gone for 12, West Indies 113 for 7.
Ridley Jacobs comes in at the fall of Brian Lara's wicket, another left-hander. Actually, Ramiz, I do believe it was the timing on Lara's shot that actually did him in. Because we'll take a look at that after this ball.
Well done,
Just a single to complete a very good over. It was a leg by. 114 for 7 after 31. Now, if you take a look at Lara's dismissal, initially when Shabir started to move to the ball, it looked like he'd be short. And in the end, the catch was very comfortably made.
Yes, good timing from Brian Lara, but hit it in the air, and a nice running catch, gleefully accepting it. Couldn't quite keep the sweep shot along the ground. You sweep on length, and the length was picked up by Brian Lara, but in the end, he was picked up by Shabir.
Very, very happy. So is this man. No ball, so the one run for the no ball plus the additional runs they're going to take from this shot, which I really do believe should be 3. But pretty good work in the end in the deep there from Razzaq, I think. There he goes again. Hands covering ball. Just before he gets into the delivery motion, he separates them. That's gone for 4. And I'm afraid the fielder running after it. Really, really ponderous, Saeed Anwar. I'm not quite sure Anwar is completely fit, but he really was jogging after that one.
Well, Saeed is struggling with a knee injury. He's been carrying it in Lahore. And not a great effort, just a few paces that wouldn't help really the Pakistan cause.
There's a leading edge, but the ball has fallen safe, and waiting for a signal. It's 4 from umpire done, so 127 for 7. Got him. Ridley Jacobs is frustrated, but I think the frustration was more at himself. Thought I heard a click as the ball passed by. Razzaq picks up a wicket. West Indies 133 for 8 now.
Well, Razzaq had earlier beaten Jacobs. Not this time. Maybe he got a bit of glove. And the bowler was convinced that he has got the left-hander Ridley Jacobs. So another wicket goes down for the West Indies. There was a noise. Maybe the bat hitting the toe of the shoe or the glove. It's hard to tell. But Moin Khan was pretty convinced that he had nicked it. He's gone for 10, and West Indies 133 for 8.
Mervyn Dillon is the new batsman. With the West Indies 133 for 8. Now take a look at this. Take a look at as the ball passes the bat. Bat hits the boot, and does it nick a bit of glove on the way? I'm not so sure. I remember calling the fact that it did make a noise as it passed. Here's a sound. Did look like it was bat on toe. That was the sound. Well, that's one reason why you never use audio evidence in a replay. Let's take another look at it. Way, way, way from the outside edge. The first reaction was it might have hit the glove, but it probably didn't. End of that over from Razzaq, but in the scorebook it goes down as a wicket to his name. In the commentary box now, Jeffrey Boycott, and with him Sunil Gavaskar.
If right-handers can get down the pitch, using our body and our pad as a second line of defence. That's a good effort. I'm just going to say, one of the fewer things you can do is try and play forward as much as you can and smother the spinning ball. And if he just gives you anything with a touch of width or touch shortness of length, then you can use that and just cut it and back cut it between the two men behind square. But driving it is fraught with danger. I mean, there's a lot of turn there. Jimmy's played well. He's tried to get forward and smother it as much as he can. Big stride.
Catch it, Indy.
And there's another top edge sweep which will please him as well. So 2 wickets to Mushtaq off the sweep. Lara and Adams he's got, and the West Indies now 155 for 9 with just the last 2 men in.
Well, Jimmy Adams perishing to a sweep shot. Brian Lara did earlier. This one was skied up for Inzamam to take an easy catch. Not a great shot. Nobody has tried to play Mushy with a lap sweep shot. Jimmy Adams gone for 27, West Indies 156 for 9.
The last batsman is Courtney Walsh in his accustomed position of number 11. Comes in to replace Jimmy Adams.
Well, Jimmy Adams was trying to hit Mushtaq a little too hard. The idea was right to play with the spin, but couldn't middle it. In fact, edged it. Inzamam took an easy catch in the end. So no great deal of partnerships really brewing in the West Indies innings.
Catch it.
That's gone high. Someone's under it, and this is going to be easy catch to finish the innings. Pulled in quite comfortably at deep mid wicket by Yusuf Yohana. Ends the West Indies innings at 161, and Mushtaq has his 3rd wicket.
Mushtaq enjoying himself, 3 wickets. And Mervyn Dillon playing across the line, couldn't control the shot, top edged it, and Yusuf Yohana getting underneath the ball, nicely held in the end. So Dillon going for 9, and West Indies once again just being routed in the batting department, 161 all out. There no worthwhile contribution. Sherwin Campbell looked good. Hines promising, but the main batsmen failing to deliver. Chanderpaul, Lara, Jimmy Adams and Ridley Jacobs all falling to low scores, making life difficult for West Indies to get on to a good challenging total. Pakistan is once again dominating in the bowling department. Abdul Razzaq impressive once again. Shabir generating a lot of pace and bounce, picking up 3 wickets on debut. Arshad Khan as wily and accurate as ever, 21 runs given of just 10. Suklan Mushtaq again picking up wickets, and Mushtaq Ahmad being played by Pakistan after a lapse of few games and picking up 3.
It's going to take something extraordinary from the West Indies to stop Pakistan winning this game. And winning this DMC trophy 3-zip. Saeed Anwar not opening the batting. Wajahatullah Wasti will open the batting with Abdul Razzaq. Abdul Razzaq opened the bowling as well. So it's one of those rare instances of a player opening the bowling and opening the batting for his country.
That was a wild shot. First ball.
The batsman's not set. His feet are not moving. He's come after a break. He's come after lunch. He really should have been trying to play it straight rather than trying to go for the big drive.
Wasti does have a problem when he's going on the front foot. He doesn't get there all the time. And there a gap being created because it was an extravagant drive first up. A bit of inexperience being shown by Wasti. He's gone for naught, and Pakistan lose their first wicket for naught.
No ball, nicely middle, and he's in trouble.
Well, it's all happening out there, isn't it? Hassan Raza playing his first ball, a no ball, nicely on the front foot. opening the face of the bat. There was no need for that run anyway. There wasn't any.
Beautiful. Glorious drive this.
This is a good positive start from Hassan Razzaq. Again, nicely on the front foot, just guiding the ball away through that point area. Didn't try to hit it too hard, just opened the face of the bat. And Courtney Walsh's pace helping Hassan Razzaq to get away with a lovely boundary.
Well, you have to hurry because Jimmy Adams is a very, very good fielder. But he didn't get the stumps in sight. West Indies wars continued. Overthrow. So it's 4 overthrows plus the one taken. It's 12 for 1.
Yes, Jimmy Adams having a shot at the stumps, and Gale not doing well to stop the overthrow. To hit the hoarding boards, and Dillon not impressed at all.
It's a boundary. That'll do. So Hassan Razzaq has played 12 matches. Lovely shot.
Very good stroke from Abdul Razzaq. Courtney Walsh is trying to pitch the ball up to Razzaq because he doesn't like to be on the front foot, but this one was just a little too up for Razzaq to whip it away through mid-wicket. Stylishly put away.
This is the kind of boundary any opening batsman or any batsman should have. Make the fielder run till the last. Once again, the front foot not quite going to the pitch of the ball, but Walsh is not getting too much of movement. Went through that forward shot legs his hands.
Well, had it stick, it would have been a wonderful catch. It's very difficult for that short leg position to take catches off the bat. And Abdul Razzaq needlessly exercising his legs to go for that single. A narrow escape through the short leg and then getting out of the crease and almost getting run out.
This was a possibility, but that's a specialist position, not easy to stand. 25 for 1. There were 2 possible opportunities. This one was played a lot more. This was the second one, popped up in the air, wasn't able to control it, just a little wide of the fielder over there. This was the first one. This one was played off the middle of the bat. These are reflex action catches. They either stick or they don't. I've seen David Boone take some superb reflex action catches down there at forward short leg. But these are never easy to pick. Let's see at the speed at which it's gone. See? It's gone very quickly.
Over the top. No shot. Some relief from the pressure that has been placed on the 2 batsmen with that shot.
Well, that's just a good response from the batsman. It's good length ball. Nothing wrong with that from Walsh. Just the batsman making his reply and saying, no, I'm not going to be intimidated. Took a risk, but that's a little bit what one-day cricket is. Shot, Good comeback from the youngster. I love cricket when there's a bit of competitive spirit. Over and 33 for 1.
Top edge, deliberate, over the slips. Wide and high. Once he got on some bat on that, it always was going to go over the slips. It was high, and the aim was, even if it was inelegant, to put bat to ball. Beautifully bowled, top of the pad, I think.
Well, we've seen some of them over the years from Courtney Walsh that snake back at the right-handers and cut them in half, and there's a lot of appealing, but many a time it misses bat and hits the top of the pad or the thigh. Yep, straight onto the top of the thigh. I've seen it time and time again.
That was a sound at the top of the pad.
You bowl 10 overs. Well, he's a frontline bowler, then you bowl too wide of leg stump, you get swept. When you bowl too straight, he's going to get driven to mid-off.
He's out caught. City point, rather tentative forward defensive shot. Adams makes the breakthrough. Easy catch at City point. And Hassan Raza goes with the first wicket falling 450. In the commentary box, Sunil Gavaskar, and after him it will be Harsha Bogli.
Just a gentle prod over there from Hassan Raza. He's batted quite well, been impressive. But it's a soft dismissal. Pakistan 50 for 2.
Imam comes in, he's 29 and he's just replaced a very, very young man, Hassan Raza.
It's on the leg and middle stump. Hassan Raza not quite keeping his bat behind the pads. You either got to keep it right behind. Getting Ricardo Powell and Chris Gale with some super fast deliveries.
Man is there at fine leg. Never really got under it. Now what do you make of that smile? Is it just a sign of helplessness, I suspect? You can somehow, you get the feeling when a person's searching in the air that he's not going to be there.
I thought he took it a little too easy, Ricardo Powell. He's a very good fielder. And sometimes when you're a very good fielder and the catch is in the air, you tend to sort of think you're going to make it easy. Not only has he let it slip, he's also allowed it to go for a boundary.
There can be no more worse feeling in the game than when you go for a catch, close your fingers together and find nothing in between. Now look, Dylan thinks he's got him already. Oh, now that looks going to change. I think it's very cruel of us to be smiling over that, but it really was funny to see how that look changed. Well, it should have been taken. I always thought it's a bit cruel having that CN tower beside the Sky Dome. That'll be 4. What a good shot. Big man, but he hopped back very nimbly.
Yes, he got a little bit with Jimmy Adams has bowled on the batsman's pads. This one, he has drifted a little outside the off stump. That's all that Inzamam needed. Inzamam's an excellent player of spin bowling.
Four. Down the wicket and boom.
He waited for the ball around the off stump, Abdul Razzaq, because the mid-off was in.
This time, man coming under it will not take it.
Hendy Bryan out there on the field. Mervyn Dillon has induced the pull shot again. And once again, he is biting his lip in agony.
Once again, the ball going through for a boundary. So adding insult to injury. The ball climbing up just a little too high. The edge over there. And the ball's gone through and gone to the boundary as well. This time he's smiling. He's still smiling. I think he's counting his chickens before they are hatched.
Oh dear, dear. Mervyn Dillon went down the wicket. The Gavaskars completed his what had his 50th birthday in July. Now as he spends a couple of days in Bombay, that ball's running away to the boundary, I think, which will get there now for 4 wides. The Gavaskars celebrate their 25th wedding anniversary, so on behalf of all of us here, he's wishing you, Sunny and Pami, a great time. 4 wides down the leg side again.
What a good shot by Inzamam. Not always delicate Inzamam. I don't suppose delicate is the correct word to use for Inzamam. It's a muscle strain. And it's past him. Sweep shot again, going past Chandapal. Well, that's the danger when you bowl outside the batsman's legs, and Inzamam is a good sweeper.
Again, expertly played by Inzamam ul Haq. On top of it, good roll of the wrist and playing it away from Chandapal. That is the reason why he's hit the turf and the ball is just stopped where it was.
Partial save, he's pushed it around the post, so to speak. But he did save a boundary. Chris Gale out there, and they'll come back for a second. New look Inzamam. He's been on the diet since the World Cup. Certainly not as much of Inzamam now as there was last year in Toronto. Gale, the off spinner, continues. And he's pulled away for 4 from a long hop. That's a very bad ball. 50 partnership now between these two. We've had 2 successive 50 partnerships.
Easy picking once again for Inzamam ul Haq through that square leg area once again. Back and across and just helping himself to another boundary.
And no protection of the cover boundary for a leg spinner from around the wicket, and it goes for 4 once it goes through.
Yes, just a little strange because Chandapal is getting that ball to spin away from the right-hander, and there's no cushion on the point boundary. Once it was placed in the gap, it went all the way to the boundary. That's 4. Being provided just a little bit of width outside the off stump. And Inzamam cutting well. Chandapal just pitching it a little short. Inzamam moving away to create a bit of room so that the bat could come down nicely on the stroke.
Just touched it, and a long chase here for Adrian Griffith, and he won't stop it. Well, he does. The umpire will just check and see if his body was on the line with the ball in the hand. Diving save by Griffith. He is one of the divers in the West Indies team.
That could be 4 because part of the body was touching the ropes when he was stopping the ball with his hand. Good chase, but could well be in vain. It was nicely placed by Abdul Razzaq, and his legs maybe, or the torso, hitting the ropes when he was stopping the ball with his hand. And correctly given 4 by umpire Steve Dunn.
$50 to Abdul Razzaq. Second time in 2 games. What a good find he is for them. Just seems to get better by the day, and that's a sign of a good cricketer. His teammates are delighted, so is the crowd. I'm sure he's very, very happy himself. Good gift again there from Chandapal, and Razzaq is enjoying this, isn't he? He's feasting on it, really. Takes it easily. Straight down the throat, off mid-wicket. End of Abdul Razzaq. I'm afraid he picked the wrong dish.
Well, as we all know, when you have a lot to pick from when you're eating, if you get greedy, you get stomach problems, and he's got greedy when he's batting and he's holed out. He's gone for a big sixer and picked out the man. It's a nice little innings, but it's ended in a poor way. 136 for 3.
Yusuf Yohana is another man in form for Pakistan.
Well, he just got a bit greedy. It was a long hop that sat up nice and steady, but he wasn't satisfied with trying to hit it for 4. He wanted to hit it for 6.
Beautiful shot. Now, it's not too different from the ball that dismissed Razzaq. With the greater experience and I suspect the greater pedigree of Inzamam on view there. Hit it along the ground and in the gap.
Yes, his eyes lit up, but he smacked it on the floor. That's the secret. It's quite a big boundary out now there. Not so much square, but in the mid-wicket area, it's a big boundary. Oh, nearly got bowled around his legs. Because it was a full toss that he missed, and it dropped almost in the batting crease. That could be out or wide. No, beautifully played into the gap. Just chipped it in there. The disadvantage, because they've not played before in Toronto. Pakistan have played 3 times, so Pakistan have a pretty good idea of what the pitches are like. And West Indies, their whole attack is based on fast bowling. As I mentioned, Perry is a good bowler, but he's injured and he's not really been able to play a game, and so they haven't even had one quality spinner. They've been fill-in spinners, which handicaps Brian Lara and his team.
And Inzamam has taken advantage of that situation. 49 not out. And he'll walk through for his 50th run. So casually done, so neatly done. Picked his spot. And still they throw the stumps at his end. Well played by Inzamam. It's been a controlled innings. He hasn't been in best form in this tournament, but today he's paced himself quite well.
Well, eventually the Sultan of Multan has struck gold. He's played to the situation. He hasn't had to go after the bowling. He's just played it around the park as the situation has demanded, and time in the middle, runs behind his name. That'll do him a wonderful amount of good.
Three teams this year as well. Oh, he'll have to hurry. He actually went all the way around and almost went into umpire Steve Dunn, did Yusuf Yohana. I wonder if I detected a smile like I did a couple of occasions earlier, because it was Inzamam, with everything to play for, suddenly called his partner for a sharp single. And quite fittingly, it's Inzamam who finishes it all. The winning run for Pakistan. They win by 7 wickets with more than 10 overs left. And the difference between the two sides is reflected in the scoreboard, fairly accurate.
162 Pakistan for the loss.
Well, I think he'll be glad of time in the middle with Inzamam. I was saying in the other two matches, he did all right, but he wasn't quite in his best form today. He's looked more himself. He's had time to play his shots because of the low score of West Indies made. He was able to just not have to force the runs. He could afford to wait for the right ball and just pick his spot. Bat for quite some considerable time. It'll done in the world of good. I think Brian Lara will be disappointed with his West Indies side because they really didn't make much impression after Walsh bowled a fiery spell and Dillon had backed him up. The rest of the bowling was, well, it didn't cause too many problems. I wouldn't say it was innocuous, but it wasn't really aggressive enough. It didn't have enough meat in it. And it was quite easy for Pakistan just to coast along.
There's 162 for 3 in the 40th over, lots of time left. Razzaq 57-55 to Inzamam. Walsh 7 overs, 1 for 24. Dillon 9 overs, none for 31. And that's when the sting went out of the attack. Adams 1 for 36. Chanderpaul picked up a wicket as well, 1 for 33. But you notice there Gale had 9 and even Sherwin Campbell got a couple of overs in. So DMC Trophy Game 3 has been won by Pakistan quite comprehensively by 7 wickets, 162 for 3.
Captain of the West Indies team, played before.
Yeah, definitely. And some of the younger players have done pretty well. We had Wavell Hines, we had young Gale who's just come into the West Indies team. Dillon is still learning the trade. These guys are going to learn and going to take some experience out of this. And hopefully, you know, come the future, we're going to do much better.
Well, the future is pretty near now for you because you have a tournament in Bangladesh and then one in Sharjah coming up. Time to regroup there.
Yeah, not time to regroup there. To go home for the next week and regroup. I think we've got to start playing good cricket. We're playing against Bangladesh. It's not a test-playing country, and we wouldn't like to embarrass ourselves down there. And then we go to Sharjah to play against Pakistan and Sri Lanka again, and hopefully we can do much better in that tournament.
Brian Lara, captain of the West Indies team. I'm sure Toronto would want to see you back here again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brian Lara, captain of the West Indies team. The Balkan Bits man of the match, the adjudicator today is Sir Clyde Walcott, the former West Indies great batsman and the former chairman of the International Cricket Council, and I'd now ask him to determine who the man of the match was.
Well, thank you, Tony. I think you will all agree with me that the game was rather one-sided today. West Indies didn't make many runs. In fact, they were all out for 161, and in that there was the top score of 25 by Jimmy Adams, so that was a pretty poor show. And then when Pakistan batted, they took things rather easily, and we had 2 half-centuries, one by Razzaq, who made, I believe he made, 57, and Inzamam, who's not out on 55. But Razzaq, apart from his 57, got 1 wicket for 31 runs, and I would think that he would be the man of the match.
So the Balkan Bits man of the match is Abdul Razzaq, the young Pakistan all-rounder. Abdul, well played. You've had a wonderful tournament here. You enjoy Toronto?
Yes, I like it. I came second time in Canada, and I want to say some things. I like to say thanks my captain and my skipper and my senior players. They give me very support, and they depend. They want depend. You should take runs and good bowling and good fielding. And thank you very much, my skipper, is it?
Well, I'm sure your skipper and your players will want to thank you as well. Well played, Abdul Razzaq, the Balkan Bits man of the match. And now if I could ask the winning captain, the captain of Pakistan, to come forward and accept the DMC trophy from Mr. Shahzad Ahmed. The check, first of all, from Mr. Shahzad Ahmed, the winning check for today's performance, the captain of the day, Moin Khan. Well, Moin, first victory as captain.
Yeah, I'm very much delighted and pleased the way the boys performed today. I'm very much happy, and beating West Indies obviously 3-0, it's a big achievement for us.
And you had to thank some of your younger players, not the established players.
Yeah, I must thank Shabir, the way he bowled today. That was amazing. I believe so. He will do some more for Pakistan.
Where do you find all these young players out of the blue from?
Yeah, we don't have any academy there in Pakistan, but Shabir is already playing domestic cricket there, so we found him from there.
Moin Khan, congratulations on your victory as first-time captain.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now we're going to present the DMC trophy to the captain who took a rest today. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain of the Pakistan team, Wasim Akram, to receive the trophy from Mr. Sudhir Thomas. Wasim Akram just turning the trophy over to his players. And no wonder you're smiling.
Yeah, I have every right to be, because the Pakistan team showed, like I said previously, they are the best side in the world. And the thing we were lacking in past was consistency. And we showed today that we can be consistent, we can beat any team in the world.
And you yourself rested today, Waqar Younis rested, and you brought out this new fella, Shabir. Now, as I asked Moin, where have you discovered him?
We saw him last year in the camp, and we hear about young boys that this guy is good or this guy is good. We just call them to the camp and have a look at them, and if they're good enough in our opinion, we always pick them up. And we have the support of the selectors and the board, so they don't mind playing. They don't mind me playing young players for Pakistan.